A very good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this session on self-service ALM through Lifecycle Services. Just before we get started here, quick show of hands. How many of you are on Dynamics 365 today? That's a good number, okay. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll cover this session. So obviously all of you who are on Dynamics 365 are very familiar with Lifecycle Services. We have continuously been evolving the service itself, the cloud service, that's Lifecycle Services. But most recently, we have made a really strong push towards making everything more self-service. So many of you are used to the process of logging a service request, waiting for some time, there's a lead time, and then you get back your service request, and then your action gets performed. But a lot of that you will see that we'll show today is more self-service in nature. So that's definitely one of the big focus of what we have and what we will focus on in this particular session. We will focus on some of the recent changes, but also some of the more upcoming changes in the next few months so that you get a good idea on what to expect in general. My name is Meera Mahabala. I'm the Group Program Manager for Lifecycle Services, the cloud platform, the on-premises platform. And I have with me Manali.
Hi, everyone. I'm Manali Dogre. I'm a Program Manager on the platform team. Some of the areas that I work on is Lifecycle Services, update management, as well as telemetry monitoring and diagnostics. So you'll see a lot of those areas showcased here today as well.
Great. So let's get started with, especially for people who have attended Lifecycle Services sessions before, you probably are familiar with this slide. I actually dabbled with changing this out a little bit, but really it does convey that we are trying to support the entire application lifecycle, and it does it well. So what has changed is probably what is below that bar, if you're familiar from the past. So let's start right there with the first part, which is the define phase. A big part of your planning as you plan for your application itself. We have a set of tools that's available as part of Lifecycle Services. We have the methodology that's been shipped a while back and is being essentially orchestrated by our solution architecture team within Microsoft. But of course, it's available for you to start as a starting point for you to extend as you see the need for your specific vertical, for your specific business. Same thing with business process model, the BPM. We do ship standard out-of-the-box BPM, and you all go ahead and extend it. ISVs certainly create specific BPMs that cover their business processes, and that is something that we continue to support. Task guides, a really nice, cool feature which allows you to add what the business does, play it back on AX itself, play back on F&O itself, and then see how it runs through the various processes. Primary purposes of BPM is, of course, fit gap analysis that you can do, and then you can add work items as you see fit based on the gaps, track it, and use it for project management. Something that we also support is configuration through the BPM. We allow you to essentially put together data packages that you can put to specific environments. You can deploy them in specific environments based on the processes and what data they need or what seed data they need in order to orchestrate that particular process itself. As you will see, that whole section in define is black. We are not going into it in a whole lot of, we're not going into any detail in that entire phase, to that entire phase in this particular session. Primarily because we have much more ground to cover, but that all of that still does exist, and we are continuing to evolve them. And it is something that you should leverage if you haven't seen it already or haven't used it already. The next phase that I have up there is the build phase, and build or the develop phase or the implement phase, and this is where you would actually go ahead and build your project together. So some of the things that are useful in this phase, first off, with a standard subscription of F&O, you get 3 environments, right? You get the dev test or the build environment, you get the UAT or the sandbox environment, and then you get the production environment. So all 3 environments are available as part of your standard subscription. We have made some infrastructure improvements to these environments that I will talk through in the next few slides. But the environments continue to stay as they were and that you know of from the past. We certainly have a set of build tools that we ship, and it's also available integrated with VSDS, the entire developer environment. This is an area that we are making a lot of investments, and you will hear a lot more around the entire Dev ALM process in the coming months. Not in this session, but definitely a lot more detail in the coming months that we will share. And then there is the notion of upgrade. There's upgrade from AX 2012. We support a migration from 2009. And the upgrade that we're focusing on in this particular session is actually the upgrade that we do between major versions. So 7.2 to 7.3, 7.2 to 8.0 or 8.1, and so on. So that is something that we will focus on a little bit more in this particular session. And then there's test automation. We've had test tools before available that you can run on your dev test environments as automation. But the difference with this new regression test suite tool that we are now in preview, that's released in preview, is that you can actually use the same task guides or task recordings in order to play back your tests, and you can play them back in a UAT environment. So as soon as you release an update, either your custom update or a service update, you can run automatically a test regression suite, which can cover your business processes, and then you can go through and make sure that they've analyzed to be passed. The next phase that I have out there is maintain or update. I think we dabbled with a few words here, but it's about once you are live, how do you keep your service up to date? There is the notion of service updates that some of you are familiar with, especially if you're live for some time now. Platform updates, we have been making them available to you by Microsoft, actually making that update managing the update for you on your systems, right? So you don't have to do necessarily a pull and update your system, but Microsoft pushes the update. So that concept of service updates we will go through in some level of detail. And how it's evolving, how it's changing, and what to expect for the coming months. Custom updates, of course, it's your customizations and your updates. Something that you will see with customizations is as we have reduced the time it takes to apply service updates, your customizations can avail of the same benefits, right? So we've brought it down to anywhere between the 20-minute to the 45-minute mark, and your customizations can get very similar characteristics, as long as of course, they do similar things where they don't require data upgrade and things like that. Import, export data, this is something that most of you do day in and day out and potentially spend many hours doing. This is one part that we've made self-service, and Manali will demo it a little later. But this is across when you want to bring in your golden config to when you want to just do a database refresh and you want to do some testing, right? Testing, debugging, or anything of that sort. So, but this is really, we're striving to make this a one-click process that really reduces the time it takes for you folks to maintain your systems. Data refresh, something is similar. The sandbox, refreshing sandbox from a production system is something that we will support. Again, a single click, and you will see that available. The final phase is what I'm calling the operate phase, and this is sort of trying to go through support. How do you monitor your systems? How can you troubleshoot any issues that occur? How do you diagnose? How do you, in general, keep up with what Microsoft is sending you in terms of communications, where to go for what? I mean, we have heard feedback that, people are missing important communications that we'd give because we are sending too many emails come out, things like that. So we are really trying to streamline this entire process of how we communicate with you. And we'll go into that in some level of detail, especially the types of communication and what you can expect. So that is something that we will go through. And then finally, what I have there is the Go Local aspect of it. So Go Local is something that we are just starting to release. We will go into preview for Europe. So a good question might be in your minds might be what exactly it means in the context of finance and operations. So today we already make finance and operations available in the specific data center or region that you choose, right? Within Lifecycle Services, you have an option of choosing the available data centers, and that's where we will deploy finance and operations at. But what we do have is we have Lifecycle Services, which is only available in the US today. And so, of course, there is certain data that comes out, and there's a lot of business data that stays within the data region. So as part of this Go Local initiative, essentially what we do is we make lifecycle services also available within the same data region. We're starting the initiative with Europe. China is the next one that we are targeting. So those are at least 2 in the roadmap, but we will start to roll out a few more as time goes and as we get better at this process, as we learn and are able to manage more data centers in general. So that is something that we will put out there. Just one other note, there is a website on the Trust Center where we actually go through in detail what data lives where in a standard subscription. So if you have any questions, please take a look at that, because that clearly enumerates what data stays within the data region and what is the data that stays in US, because that's where lifecycle services are. So with that, okay, so yeah, one last point. I think we have been asked, lifecycle services, I talk about it always in the context of finance and operations, but really it does support these 3 products that we are talking about below. So it is used for talent, for the basic environment. It's also used, BPM is used there, and methodologies are used there. Finance and operations, we cover both on-premises and cloud. So even the on-premises is managed through lifecycle services, especially for the servicing aspects and things like that are managed through lifecycle services. And then finally, retail is, of course, also something that we support as part of lifecycle services. So, okay, so we'll go a little bit more into the build and implement phase. So I'll start with the infrastructure improvements. Something that we're doing behind the scenes, as you know, some of our infrastructure, we've been trying to update it, and we are trying, all of this is going to move to Azure Service Fabric-based architecture. So what this means is there'll be containers and there'll be microservices behind the scene. Our general path to move towards this is in the November timeframe. We will be using this for new customers. And later next year, in the H1 timeframe of next year, is when we will migrate existing deployments into the Service Fabric architecture. This is a forward-looking architecture that will evolve with time, and we are hoping to get a lot of advantages from it. I've listed a few right there. One of the first things that will happen and that you will see is deployment today is actually a 48-hour lead time, and you have to wait for instances to be deployed. This is significantly reduced, and it will be, I think it's a matter of under 4 hours, and maybe actually it's an hour. Yeah, it's under the order of an hour. And it'll be self-service. So that's one of the first things that we will start making self-service to. The elasticity the way in which we can do, we support elasticity even today, but the way we can do it is going to be a lot simpler when we go to this new architecture. You'll have a lot more self-service operations, because that's the only way we can deal with things in general in the Service Fabric architecture. Servicing behind the scenes, again, will change to basically, once we service Sandbox, what we'll do is we'll take that image and we'll just copy it over to production. So today, we actually deploy the bits once in Sandbox, once in production. So there are a new set of issues that can arise in production. But with this new model of servicing, essentially what will happen is, since we copy the container image itself, you will not see any new additional issues rising. So we really hope that we can improve the resiliency with that. And beyond that, there are multiple other things. For example, the reporting service will become a service architecture, which will help us overall manage the service better. So in general, what you should expect with this is we will continue to tell you what might change at your end, but our expectation is a lot of this is behind the scene, and you will start seeing some of the improvements as we go into this architecture in general. So with that, let's move to sort of the next topic in the build phase itself, which is around upgrade. So one of the things we are today, the upgrade process does have a backlog where you have to go schedule your upgrade process, and somebody runs through it. The service team in Microsoft runs through it, and there's a very back and forth communication around the upgrade itself. So this is one of the things that we are making self-service. So basically, you can schedule the upgrade in your own time. In general, the process remains the same. So the way we do upgrade today is we bring up a parallel instance that's identical to your current production system, right, or your sandbox. So we do the same process in sandbox and we do the same process in production. So we bring up a parallel instance, with up-to-date infrastructure, we apply your code packages, then we do a data upgrade, and then we point it to your database. We point it to database, do a data upgrade, and then you can validate, and then if everything goes well, we do a swap. And that's your new system, right? So this really helped us minimize the downtime. I think we were in the order of 24 hours. We brought this down to about 8 hours. I think average is about 4 hours or so. So we have brought that time down drastically from in doing so. So this parallel instance itself is available essentially for 10 days for you to validate in Sandbox. And in production, it's available for 5 days. The production, so one of the things that we are enforcing is that the production code packages must be identical to what you've applied previously on Sandbox. We've seen a number of issues that arise because of this. We do support rollback before you confirm and you say everything is good. So when you're validating, if you find any issues, you can certainly say that you don't want to use the instance that was just brought up, and you can go back to your previous instance. So that is something that we do support. So a point I would like to make here is that we don't support, and we won't have real upgrades post 8.1. So if you're prior to 8.1 is when you will need this whole process, and after 8.1, we don't expect any upgrades where you will need code upgrade or data upgrade. So that is something that will change in general. So the process is, again, right now for the 7.x to 8.0 or 8.0 upgrades, what you would have to do is you do a code upgrade, you deploy staging, you apply the code packages, and then you upgrade the database, and then you sign off, validate and sign off. So let me go ahead and switch here, and we can quickly go through that. So what you see here is, let me just go ahead and, yeah, so what you see here is the instance right before the upgrade itself. So what we have the standard maintain button here. You can go ahead and select upgrade. And then you can pick your target version. I should just warn you that this is pre-release bits. So the disclaimer is for something if it doesn't work. So you'll go ahead and select the target version that you want to apply, and that's it. And then you can go ahead and select prepare. So when you select prepare, essentially what is happening is that the parallel instance is coming up, which you will use in order to actually do the upgrade itself. So the next tab that I have here essentially is showing you that view. So old is the current system that you have, and this is the new staging environment that has been brought up, which says upgrade in progress. So you can go ahead and select the upgrade in progress staging environment. Looks like that just changed the name to staging. And you should be able to go into the upgrade link here and essentially go ahead and apply any code packages that you would like to apply. So you go ahead and do any apply updates. So once you're done with the apply updates, you will actually go ahead and select upgrade database. So I'll just go ahead and select upgrade database, and this is when the environment swap actually happens. So this is when the downtime that you will incur will happen. So at this point, we will bring your production environment down. We will do an in-place data upgrade as needed. And then once that's complete, you should be able to go back into a state where you can see your environment, your application release, and your platform release versions show up right there. Something that we do support, like I mentioned, is rollback. So if there is a failure, we will show you that. We will provide a log file as required. You can either resume if there is something that some action that Microsoft can take, or you can go ahead and roll back. So once you click the rollback, we would go ahead and essentially have the rollback in progress and give you back your current environment as it's needed. So a little bit about the failure and how failures are especially tracked in the self-service flow. So essentially when the self-service operation fails, and this actually applies to all self-service operations, we will start with upgrade, but it does apply to all others. So if the operation fails, the first thing that we check is it user-induced error, right? So if it's some error that was caused by what you gave as a input parameter. So if that's the case, then what happens is we essentially make the log file available to you. That's something that you can go ahead and analyze. And then you can go ahead and you can create the fix for that and re-trigger the operation. So that is something that's completely in your hands. If it is something that is not user-induced, in that case, what happens is we create a service request. So this is something that you should be familiar if you've already worked with Lifecycle Services before. But essentially, we create a service request for tracking. Microsoft goes ahead and investigates the issue. But while we do that, what we will do is we'll restore your machine essentially to the previous good state so that you can continue with your other operations. And once you get information about the issue having been fixed, you can go back and re-trigger the operation. So this is the general flow that we will follow for all failures. And you should be able to track and resolve the issue using service requests that are available as part of my LCS itself today. One other, so moving on to the sort of the next topic in build itself, the next, as you all know, 8.0 is the first major version where we made all extensions available and we don't allow any overlayering essentially. So we do have the ability for you to log a new extension support request. This is available through LCS today. It's in the support menu item in LCS. And essentially, you can go log your details. This comes directly into our engineering team who are continuously monitoring, prioritizing, and fixing these issues so that you will have extensions available so that you can go ahead and code to and plan to move to 8.0. One of the things that we are encouraging you to do is to file these requests by January 2019 because we do need a lead time to fix these issues, and going by the life cycle and how long we will continue to support 7.3, we do need this lead time for us to fix and make these extensions available to you. So please, if you haven't already and you have systems that are below 8.0, we really encourage you to start assessing the systems, what extensions you need, and go ahead and file these extensions as soon as possible. So the next feature that I have here is around the test automation itself. Like I mentioned earlier, we do have the regression suite automation tool that's available. It targets business customers or partners, but it's all through business process scenario validation. So if you're familiar with task recordings, it's like playing back essentially a task recording. So you record it once and you can play it back multiple times. There is no code required to enable this functionality. It's all just through clicks and recordings itself. It is integrated with VSTS, so you can go ahead and actually with BPM you can essentially enumerate your test cases. You can sync it with VSTS for tracking, and then you can also analyze your results in VSTS. So that is something that is available. One of the features that is part of this test suite tool is that you can have data parameters that are set up through Excel. So you can essentially configure every time what your parameters have to be, and you can rerun the same test case. So if you don't want to obviously create the same customer every time, so you go ahead, just edit this Excel spreadsheet, and you can go ahead and rerun it. It's just a click. There was a session on this in the expo hall earlier, so I think if you can watch the recordings, you will be able to see a click-through example of that. So quickly, just the process flow is you author and you distribute the tests. So you save it as part of the business process model. You manage, distribute the BPM library itself. You configure your test plans through VSTS, like I said, and you can configure and you can pull out the test parameters for each of those recordings. That's something that you can do. And then you go ahead and execute the test itself. So this is actually a standalone tool. The regression suite tool is a standalone tool that talks to VSTS, and when you run through the tool, it actually runs the test cases right within FNO client. So it will launch the FNO client and it will run through the steps, and you can see it kind of manipulating the UI and going through the various steps. So that is something that is available. It's still in preview, but it is something that you can request if you're interested. So please do so. We'll give you the insider program link at the end, and if you request access, we can certainly make it available. So quickly, the roadmap for this entire section, we do have a self-service upgrade that's going out in preview in early October. We plan to GA it in November, so it will be available for general availability in the November timeframe. The regression test suite automation will also be GA in the November timeframe. And like I talked about, there are a few Dev ALM improvements that we are planning for the first half of next calendar year. There are several around just how you set up your dev machine. You'll see improvements on how you don't have to rely on the entire dev VHD, for example. You can just do it on any machine by downloading the set of tools that you need. There are also several improvements around just automated build and uploading the asset packages to LCS. That's, I think, been a feature that's much asked for, I think, in Ideas portal too. So some of those improvements we will bring online in the first half of the calendar year 2019. So moving on to the next phase of maintain. So one version is clearly something that you all heard about, I hope. It's really the promise of a cloud service, right? That we keep the bits up to date continuously in a predictable way to overall improve the reliability of your system. So this is something that we did announce just in about 3 to 4 months back. We have been making steady progress in the way we update builds on your end. So let's just go through quickly what this means in general, right? So starting 8.1, there will be monthly service updates that you can expect. These updates will be both application and platform together. So there'll be a single package for both application and package and a platform. In general, new features will not be enabled by default. So this is something where we will make them opt-in, and business users will be able to essentially enable the new features. Any kind of deprecation that we do will include a 12-month advance notice. So we will announce the deprecation, and only 12 months later you will see that API or anything like that go away. So we will be very systematic about these kind of updates in general. We do have the ability for you to access these builds early. We have really revamped the way we release these builds, and we go through a safe deployment process within Microsoft itself, where we have multiple rings by which we validate these various processes. You have the ability to sign up for any of these earlier rings. Right, so the first one that's available there is a partner early access program. So you can sign up for a partner early access, and that, in fact, all partners, I would highly encourage you to be on that program, so you'll get early access to bits. So what we do is once we update your system, we are actually monitoring your system through telemetry. So we are closely watching to see that these builds does not cause any regression. So that is something that we will do from our end, and we encourage you to take on especially for partners, this is one of the earlier rings where you can run your dev test environments on, and you can at least that way see if there is any issue that's caused to your code, and you can raise early flags that we can get onto. We have the other customer advantage program that's available called CAP. That is something that we also can get onto, where we will update your sandbox and your production environment. So this is much later after many of the Microsoft rings are available. But we also have an additional program called CEAP, which is essentially available for your sandbox environments alone. So if you want to get a lead time between your sandbox update and your production update, then you can sign up for the SEEP program. So basically what it will do is we will only broadcast and update your sandbox environments early enough so you guys can test, we can see the telemetry, we can see if there's any issues that arise at that point of time. And I think you'll get anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks between that update and the update to your production. So it's a significant lead time that you can get before your production gets updated. We will have the option of auto-update or self-update. So auto-update is when Microsoft broadcasts and updates your system. And self-update is, of course, the pull model, and it's the LCS tiles which you can use to pull a specific update. Customer selects a patch Sunday, so we have this concept, and I'll go through that a little bit. You can configure exactly when you want your system updated, the time and the weekend really. So it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday that you can update your system. So I'm calling it a patch Sunday, but this is to basically improve predictability overall and when you get your updates itself. So that is something that we will do. Like I said, mentioned before, the update time is about 20 to 45 minutes. We will validate, we encourage you to validate using the regression suite automation tool, so that is something that will be available. We will have a requirement that no customer is older than 3 months at that point of time. So that is something that we will bring in, and we would like you to be as up to date as possible. And this is of course primarily for reliability reasons, and we have seen good, we have seen evidence of other places where we don't get enough telemetry signals because they are on older builds, and we are not able to manage the service the same way and keep the same availability that we would like to keep. So in terms of the experience itself, like I said, the first thing that you have is configure there. So you will, I think the picture that I have there is of early wireframes and early part of the product itself, but you will see the final ones coming together in the next couple of months itself. But you will be able to pick essentially the weekend and the environment that you want Microsoft to designate for your updates. So that is something that you will be able to do right there. So the first one is the environment that you would like to be updated. The next entry there is around the day of the weekend that you would like to get updated, the first weekend, the second weekend, or the third weekend that you would like to get updated. And the third one entry there is the time zone you would like to get updated. And the last one that we have there is if you would like any environments to go through an early update. So if you have a sandbox that you just want to designate as an early update candidate, you can do that. And so all of this will be managed from Microsoft, and hopefully that does less the amount of work that you have to do. So that will help hopefully in the overall management of these service updates itself. Sign up for PEEP and all of those we went through already. So get ahead and test early. So I highly encourage you folks to sign up for any of the early access programs, and specifically also the SEEP program at the very least, because that will give you the lead time that you need for your sandbox environment. So moving on, the next section is around view. So we are making a number of changes around how you can keep informed about the upcoming updates. So we will include a view around where the upcoming updates are going to be seen, when you can expect a scheduled update to be seen. All of these will have a menu location in Lifecycle Services, so that will certainly help in general. You can also see what is new through the release notes itself. In general, notifications are sent 5 days in advance of an upcoming update. Just before, you will also see a notification toolbar in Lifecycle Services that will tell you that there is going to be an update that's due in the next 5 days or whatever. So there'll be a yellow bar that will sort of indicate that in Lifecycle Services. So I think we will try and make you aware of when the service update will be. I think that has been asked, that there is predictability in general, and then the ability for you to see. During an update itself also, we do have a notification within the client. So within FNO client, we do have a notification that goes out when there is an update that's going to be installed on the system itself. The next pillar there is around updates. The update tile experience will change significantly from what you see today. You have 4 tiles with X++, binary updates, and so on, and you really need to know exactly what you're going to update. What we will go to is a single tile where you just get the latest update. So that's as simple as it's going to get to. So you will be able to get the latest update. We will have the ability for you to pull an early access update also. So that's what I'm showing you right above, which is called Apply Now. So that is something that we will also make available. Like I mentioned, there's a single tile for applications and platform. There will not be any differentiation. So after 8.1, you will just start seeing a single tile available. You can do a self-update or wait for the auto-update that Microsoft is going to schedule. And then validate. This is a little bit of the regression test suite tool that shows the test results itself. Besides that, we also have an impact analysis tool that we are looking to release, which will essentially show you the areas of the product that you use today through your user interaction and what areas changed from that particular update. So you will actually be able to see quite well. So you will be able to orchestrate your regression tests around that area that are more, where you see there's more change and more churn and that you're using. So I think that that's something that we will release and then also by the end of the year. We also have this whole data task automation that Sunil probably went through yesterday, which is available. So you can use the regression suite test tool for any kind of UI interactive tests, but the data task automation can be used for all your integrations testing. And that there is a lot of detail in the session, I believe, that was there yesterday on data task automation. So please do look at that in detail, and that is something that you can leverage as needed for integrations and integration testing. So how do you get to 8.1? If you are coming from 7.3, it will be the upgrade process that we talked about previously. So you'll go through code upgrade, the staging and upgrade database process. But if you're coming from 8.0 to 8.1, it's going to be really an update. It's not even an upgrade, and the process is much simplified. You will just need to do a recompile in your dev test, create a deployable package. You'll merge the package with the 8.1 package, apply, and validate and sign off. So it will just be this process. Of course, you'll do both of these steps for both sandbox and production. But it is much simplified if you're going from 8.0 to 8.1. We will have this available in early October, the tool for the update itself. And if you are already on 8.0, I highly encourage you to get to 8.1 as soon as possible. So with that, I will hand it over to Manali for data lifecycle.
Thanks, Mira. Okay, so let's move to another area in self-service that we've been working on for the last couple of months, trying to get as much automated as possible. And I do have some demos here for you as well today. So in general, I think a lot of you all are on Dynamics 365, very familiar with this process, but for some of you all who've not gone through it, as Meera mentioned, with the standard offer, you get 3 environments, a dev test, sandbox, and a production. And there are different flows in terms of database movement that you go through in the life cycle of an implementation. You probably start with an import flow where you've created a master database on your dev test and you want to move it to sandbox. This is when you're creating a golden configuration database in that particular flow. Once you've done that and you've done your validations, you're ready to move it to a production environment and start doing your final round of testing there. This is sort of moving your golden configuration database to your production environment. Once you do your cutover and you go live, that's when you start other sort of flows where you want to do debugging, validations, and trainings, etc. So this is where you want to take a copy of your production to your sandbox environment for doing validations before a code update, before checking customizations, or maybe training some users. From there on, you also want to move it probably to a dev test environment where you want to debug against a copy of the production. Maybe there is a data issue that's causing some of the errors that the users are seeing. And so that's one of the commonly asked flows that we see. And then there are others around point-in-time restore of the sandbox during your validations just to get to a good state. Or even trying to do a point-in-time restore of your production and taking it to your sandbox for debugging. So one of the questions is, what's changed? Today, a lot of these flows are fairly manual or they're done through service request. And I'm sure all of you all are very familiar because I saw some thumbs up earlier when Meera was talking about it. There's a lead time with service request, about 5 hours or so. And there are many customers that we see today that want to do these, like especially sandbox refresh kind of operations on a daily basis. And they've got service requests lined up for like a couple of months out. So we want to make this as self-service as possible and make it one-click action where possible through Lifecycle Services. So today, as you can see, import-export, this is a manual process. You have to follow a specific sequence of actions. It takes a long time. With LCS, you have inbuilt a lot of the validations up front. So if you're trying to make it less error-prone, if you're trying to import a database, making sure your application versions are the same for the target environment as well as the database backup that you're trying to import in and things like that. So those are things that we take care of. In terms of some of the database movement flows that go to production specifically, like moving your golden configuration database from sandbox to production, that will still continue to stay as a service request, at least for now, since that's not sort of a more recurring operation that we see customers go through. It's sort of a one-time thing. But the rest of them, such as point-in-time restore, sandbox refresh, et cetera, will soon be one-click actions as well. I think one I do want to call out, which I know is a favorite among people, is trying to get a copy of the production to the dev test for debugging. That in our initial set of operations that we are automating will not be a one-click action. You'll still be able to use the automated flows in LCS to complete that operation. But once we're done with the first phase, that will be something that we'll take on to make it simpler so that you can quickly complete it as a one-click action. I believe there's a question there. This is just a copy of the database, not a copy of the server completely. But in the new model, where Meera was talking about the infrastructure improvements earlier with service fabric-based architecture, that is one of the flows that we are looking to doing, because we can store environment snapshots, and then you can just restore from that snapshot. So that will come in the next couple of months once we have some of those features getting lighted up. So let me switch to the demo here. So this is a feature, again, this is going to be in preview. We do have two features, sandbox refresh and import database in preview today. We're working on some of the reliability aspects of it to bring in, to allow you to control when you can do rollback in case of failures, as well as improve some of the issues that we've seen customers hit as well. So this is somewhere around the October 15 timeframe is what we're hoping these features to come in through. For the import database, you create a backpack from your dev test file and you upload it to the asset library in LCS. When you go to the environment details page under maintain, you have the move database. And this is where all the different database operations will be seen. So as you can see, there is import database, export, and refresh. So I can start with sort of the import database. If you have a backpack file, you can that you've uploaded to the asset library, it'll show here. It'll sort of, if you're using one that is not of the right application version, it'll alert you. Obviously, there are some changes. What we've also, if people have been using earlier features, we've sort of tried to simplify the user experience as well. A lot of the documentation has a lot of the things that we do as part of the database movement have been moved to the doc site, so do check it out to make sure what impact it has so you can act accordingly. The other operation also is export database. In terms of export database, for the specific environment, it'll take a copy of your AX database and it'll upload it to the asset library on completion. So from there on, you can import it into your dev test environment. So that would be sort of using these three operations, you can complete that. Take a copy of your production into Sandbox, export it out, and then import it into your dev test environment. And Sandbox Refresh is another one that sort of lets you pick what your source environment is. Your source environment can either be another production or other sandboxes that you have deployed in your project. And you can start the refresh process. I believe there's a question there. Yes. Yeah, so that's sort of for the debugging scenario that I mentioned earlier. In the initial set of operations that we are automating, that is not one thing that we're doing. But as soon as that set is complete, that's the next one we'll target, is to make sure that if you want to move a database from production to a dev test, it's a single click operation. If there are other things like that where we don't have a plan of just chaining operations in general, But if there is a specific scenario that you think we're missing out, then yes, please do let us know, and we'd love to make sure we complete that. Yes, I know. It's there in the roadmap. Yeah, that's one thing that we've heard is being able to schedule a lot of the maintenance operations, and not even updates on Sandbox is one of them. So that's something we'll tackle as a whole. One question. I'll take this as the last one and then move on to the next. So the question was, will this work for cloud-hosted environments as well, or is this only for SQL Azure? So this is going to be this will work for the environments in Microsoft managed subscriptions, as well as for Sandbox, as well as for cloud-hosted, I believe. And I can confirm that and get back to you on it. Okay. So quickly, just moving to the next piece. So to complete sort of the roadmap for the maintain area, in the October timeframe, as I mentioned, we have Sandbox refresh, import, export, data movement flows that'll be made available. We have the link to the insider programs towards the end in the session resources. Please do sign up for it if you haven't already. That's where all previews will be listed going forward. That's how you can stay current with what's there. The update experience that Meera spoke about for you to move from 8.0 to 8.1 will also be available as we're getting ready to make 8.1 available in the market. And then support for monthly updates. So this is about having a single service update for your application and platform, and you're always getting what is latest available. In the November timeframe, as to help customers sort of get ready and prepare for run one, make some of the operations in terms of allowing you to configure updates, what weekend, what maintenance window is convenient to you. That way it's more of a customized experience as well, and you can choose when you want to get updated. Also getting the latest service updates, so what Microsoft has released and will be updating will be made available in LCS, as well as you can sign up for the different rings that we spoke about earlier. In December is where we'll have the point-in-time restore of the Sandbox and some of the other database movement flows lighting up. The notifications will be, today we send out email notifications, but also making sure that LCS upcoming updates, the notification bar that we spoke about earlier is reflecting the changes that we're making. We'll all start getting updated in sort of preparation for one version. And then in the H1 timeframe is where sort of adding support for rollback. One of the questions we've gotten is, or feedback we've gotten is, yes, you updated our environment. If validations, we did our validations and now we found an issue, what can we do? So we're looking to see how we can support rollback, and that's those kind of scenarios, allowing rollback only to the last applied update potentially. But those are some of the more forward-looking things. Zero downtime is another one, and scheduling of maintenance operations is also one of the things that we want to enable for sure, especially for database movement where you want to do recurring operations and maybe set up a schedule where you want to take a copy from your production to Sandbox every day or every week, so to speak. Okay. So the next area that I want to move into is the operate phase. This is where we're going to talk about some of the new features that we've added in the monitor and diagnostics area, some of the support flow enhancements that we've made recently for you to see. Just with a quick show of hands, how many of you all have signed up for the performance troubleshooting improvements we made in LCS? Okay, just a couple. Okay. So hopefully some of this is new and exciting as you see this. Before I go into that, so we've made a lot of improvements to the support flows that we have in LCS. The idea here was to get targeted information up front. That way, when a support engineer is investigating the issue, it reduces the back and forth between the customer and the support engineer, and they can quickly start troubleshooting the issues. So we ask for a specific area. We ask you to pick what sub-area within, say, if you choose financial applications that you're having the issue in, and then ask more targeted questions specific to it. In addition to that, one really cool feature that we've added is also showing you related KBs based on what you're typing in that support ticket. So it's more context aware, not just based on what you're entering in the support ticket, but also what environment you have deployed and what KBs you've already applied on the environment. So it'll only show you things that you've not yet applied there, and I'll show you a demo for that. The other flow that we've added is also for reporting outages. The idea here being that we wanted to have a separate entry point and allow customers to have a simple 2 to 3 click form that customers can submit when they're trying to report an outage so they can quickly get that. On the back end as well, the process is very different when you go through this flow. We have our engineering team along with the support engineers and service engineers getting on a call within a few minutes trying to investigate the issue when customers report it as an outage. This is obviously only for production environment, and after you've sort of gone live is when these flows can be used. So to show you, you can go into LCS project and go under support. This is where you can enter different support tickets. Even if your end users report support incidents from the product itself, which is a functionality we do support, they do show up here as well. I can go to the Submit It to Microsoft tab, and I want to submit an incident. In this case, I'm going to select financial applications as the area where I'm having an issue. When I click next, as you can see, this is, it'll ask me to select one of the different areas within financial applications. I'm going to say I'm having an issue with general ledger. I'm going to click next. And I'm going to select the environment where I'm having the issue. I'm going to say it's a demo sandbox, and it's an issue. As you can see, it's allowing me to, it's showing me additional questions to drill in deeper into what the issue is. That way giving the support engineer the exact information he needs to actually start doing the troubleshooting. So I'm going to select journal and ledgers. I'm going to say US and And as I start typing through it, you can see that it's starting to filter through the possible solutions in the back. I'm not sure if you guys can see, so I'm going to try and zoom in. Hopefully that's a bit more visible. And as I type additional information, journal deletion is an issue. It'll continue to filter information and sort of ranking the results accordingly and showing you what's there. The idea being that you can, right now this is showing just KBs. Eventually we want to also show additional like how-to documentation as well, links showing up here. That way we can show you related information up front as well on how you can troubleshoot or probably address the issue. Just going to move on, hit next. And there it's my, the usual support information that I go through in terms of entering my phone number and continuing on with the rest of the support flow. The other, actually I won't complete this. The other flow that I wanted to also show you guys was the report production outage flow. And for that, it's in the same location as submit an incident, but it's a different entry point where you can select report a production outage. The idea is this is only for a production environment, as I mentioned earlier. We ask you to confirm that this is a production outage affecting the specified environment. Let's give it a second while it tries to process. Okay, fun. Demo gods are not happy. Let me just refresh my session here to see if that fixes the issue. But what you'll see here is set of predefined issues that sort of narrow down what type of an outage you might be experiencing. It could be your users are unable to log on, or it could be that reports are not working at all, or workflow is broken. But that's something that you can select out here. The overall idea is the same, where it sort of allows you to go through the same support process. It asks you targeted questions based on what you've selected, and then enter your support information and move on from there on. I know. Yep. So moving on to diagnose and mitigate. This is an area that we've made changes in the last 3 months. We did a preview of some of the features and functionality that we added out here. Before I talk about what we've added and what we've done, I want to talk about what Microsoft does today as part of operating and running this service. So we obviously, finance and operations, production environments, is a service that's operated and managed by Microsoft. We use a set of different services to monitor your systems and react to alerts that are raised by these systems. One of the systems that we use is Watchdog. Watchdog is a service that lives within the context of your environment and continuously monitors the various components within the environment. So it can monitor the OS, batch, SQL, DIXF, financial reporting, etc. It's a rule-based service. We have about 160 rules configured in there today. And the idea is that it listens to different data feeds. One of them is resource counters. It listens to the telemetry data that's emitted by the system. It listens to the configuration data. For example, if it's monitoring batch, it can look at how is the batch configured on that particular machine and react accordingly. These rules have different actions based on what type of a rule it is. Some of the rules are configured to create alerts if it's not something that the rule can auto-mitigate. So in that case, it collects all the information that it needs and creates a ticket for our internal engineering team to investigate and start looking into, even before sort of a customer can report the issue. We also have rules configured in there which either auto restart or self-heal based on whatever is the right action for it, and also ping the relevant components if needed. In addition to that, we do have availability monitoring where we monitor service endpoints 24/7, as well as have a team that reacts to these alerts and start investigating them continuously. So what is it that you can do today? We do have features in LCS that allow you to be self-serve, as well as diagnose issues that show up in your environments. One of them is activity monitoring. So this is a tool which allows you to pull together a storyboard view of what was going on in your system at a given point in time. We have data stored in there for about 30 days retention. You can go back up to 60 minutes at a time and see what was actually going on in the environment, what users were using the system, and so on. There are health metrics which show you what the common resource counters around SQL connection trends, CPU usage, to help with diagnosing the issue. SQL Insights is where the collection of the performance metrics and performance tools live. This is where you can see what are the most expensive queries based on I/O, CPU usage, the various index stats, and as well a set of new features that we've added show up under SQL Insights as well. Lastly, the Optimization Advisor is another tool. This is not an LCS. This is within the product itself, the finance and operations product. The idea is the Optimization Advisor is a rule-based engine with recommendations that it provides. So the idea is if you have some business data or configuration data that is not set up correctly, it shows you recommendations on how to fix it, and then you can actually monitor if there have been improvements based on that. So this is a workspace within the product itself. I would encourage you to go and check it out and see if there are some business processes that might not be configured correctly that might be causing some of the issues that you might see. Okay, So what's new? So we've added 3 new tabs under SQL Insights, Live View, Queries, and Actions. The Live View tab shows you what's the current DTO on your system, what are the currently executing statements, and if there is anything blocking in your environment at the moment. Then there's the Queries tab. This is showing a set of predefined queries that you can run to get additional query store metrics on demand. The idea here being, we did have some tools before as well, but one of the feedbacks we heard from customers was, it was pulling the information at a specific time. It was collecting the metrics just once a day. So if I was having a performance issue now, I had to wait for another 24 hours for those metrics to get collected, and wasn't extremely useful when you were trying to troubleshoot something that was happening at the very moment. The other feedback was also that in some cases it was not reliable and was not as performant. In this case, we've taken a lot of that feedback and we've addressed that by querying SQL directly. That way you're getting the metrics on demand as well as it's quite performant. And lastly, we've added actions. So one feedback from customers was, we know what the issue is, we know how to fix it, but we don't have access to do that. Typically true in a cloud service. But what we've tried to do here is, and this is needed with finance and operations being a highly customized product where we want to make sure you have some of the control to take the actions you need. So with actions, we've added a set of predefined operations that you can perform. Things like creating an index, terminating a blocking statement are some of the type of actions that you can take on your sandbox and production environment with these features. These features were in preview for a month and a half. They were made generally available just last week. We have the documentation going out today or tomorrow, so please do take a look at it, try them out, and do let us know if there are additional queries that you'd love to see here. I have a demo for this as well. And hopefully, LCS works with me this time. Okay. So for folks that might not have seen the activity monitoring page before or might be new to finance and operations, this is the environment monitoring dashboard. You can get to this from the environment details page in LCS. What this is showing you is you can select a specific time duration and showing you what are the activities that are happening on my system, who is using the system, and sort of put a storyboard view of what was going on in the system when the user reported the issue. So as you can see at the bottom, I have the form name, the control, what command was performed at what timestamp. We use this even internally to see the exact sequence of actions that a user might have performed before they probably hit the error so that we can trace back the steps. We also have the view raw logs. This is where we have a set of predefined queries that you can execute and actually get detailed raw logs that come from our telemetry. You have the option to export this to Excel as well if you want to do additional diagnostics on it. So now coming to SQL Insights. So this is sort of showcasing some of the new stuff that we've added. The live view queries and actions are the new tabs. Performance metrics and index analysis is something that we've had for a while. And I'll show that in just a second here as well. So in live view, it's showing me what is my DTU percentage, what are my currently executing statements, and are there any blocking statements on my environment. I do see there is something that's blocking on my environment, so I can go to the Queries tab. And there are a list of queries that you see out here. So as an example, there is current blocking tree. I can get index details, fragmentation details, weight stats, etc. So in this case, I'm going to try and get the current blocking tree to find out what my root blocker is. At this point, it's going to execute this request directly against SQL and return back the results. As you saw, this worked pretty well. I promise you it's not set up. So 126 is my root blocker. That's the one I want to terminate. I can go ahead and do that. Before I do that, I want to show you a couple of other queries that we have. As an example, there is get fragmentation details. This sort of shows you different fragmentation levels on the indexes that you have in your environment, and sort of gives you a recommendation based on that. So going to the Actions tab, this is where you can see the different actions that we have made available. These are some of the things or some of the actions that were very highly asked before, especially for, from customers that were coming from 2012 to the finance and operations world. So I'm going to go ahead and do an NSQL process. I want to terminate the root blocker. I'm going to hit execute, say demo as my reason, and hit confirm. So while this performs the action, we do have a full audit log that's available to you as well as internally on who performed the action, when it was performed, why. You can see the audit log in environment history, and that's something that you should continue to monitor to make sure that all the different operations that you're performing against the system, that's your full audit log on who performed it, when it was performed. Another one that I want to show you, and I can do that as well here, is to go to the history page and show you how that, so as an example, this is something that I just executed. My environment history is updated to actually show you what was performed. The other action that I want to show you is create non-unique index. And I'm going to go ahead and do two. My table name is dbo.currency. And I want to do it on the bill. I'm going to hit execute demo index. And this is also going to go ahead and execute against my environment. That executed really quickly. Hopefully I can show that. But basically the idea is that you can see the index that I created right here. It just takes a few seconds, so hopefully the one shows up here. But there are a couple of ones that I just created right before this session as well. I highly encourage you to use these features. We've gotten really great feedback from customers that were in our preview programs about how useful it has been to them. And hopefully it helps you be self-sufficient with some of these as well. Yes? The question is there a way to limit who has access to making these changes? Great question. So today, these features are available only on environments that are with SQL Azure. So this is your sandbox in production. This is restricted to the environment manager and the project owner role to begin with. We're looking to see if we need to add another third role, especially for production environments, to say that in production only this person can perform the action. And that's something that we're in our roadmap to add that specific role, because I think it's not just for something like this, but even for other operations. Maybe we want to restrict just that specific user to do code deployments to production, or for signing off on packages or things like that. So that's something that we're looking at. But today it's available to the project owner and the environment manager role. Just welcome. There's a question there.
There is a potential that what you've just done can collapse the system, because if you add a non-unique index in a table where a null is allowed, like the batch groups, in this way, SQL will see an index with a null.
So the idea, fair point. The idea with adding these features there is someone who is knowledgeable in your company who is taking these operations. So I think that's one of the primary reasons why we want to restrict it to a smaller subset of people. So at the end, the responsibility of performing that action and what parameters you enter does lie on the person that's performing the operation. But a lot of customers that we've heard, they do have experts who know what they need to do, especially around customizations and so on. So,
does this feature apply the checks that are applied in VSTS or SQL? Because if I do that in SQL, what you've just done, I'm not sure, but looks like you have applied the index as SQL does. In VSTS, you'll not be allowed to do something like that because there is a check on the fact that a unique index or a non-unique index cannot be applied to certain kind of columns. Do you apply the same checks with this tool?
This does not apply the same checks that we do apply in VSTS, but the idea around especially adding something like creating non-unique index was when you're going through VSTS, which is something that we still say is the best practice to moving and applying an index to your production. This is not a shortcut method, but the idea was that if I'm having an issue right now in production and I need to mitigate it, this is something that you can use while you still then move and apply an index to the right process. So, and that's a great call out. That's something that we can make sure we highlight in our documentation as well. Last question, so I can move on back. The question was, how can I get probably a more detailed call stack to see what's going on for the process? It's available through view raw logs. I believe that's what you're referring to. Oh. Okay. So we don't have that mechanism today, but definitely let's think offline in terms of what specifically you're looking for, and we can see if that's something that we need to enable. Okay, so I'm going to skip through. Restart services, I believe today's demo was shown, but it's under environment details page. Under maintain, you have the option only on sandbox environments, not on production, to restart services like IIS, batch, etc., if there are issues that you see. Customer communication is a big area. Meera highlighted this earlier. This is a very hot topic. This is feedback that we're getting from customers, where either they've not received the communication, they don't know where exactly to look. So this is our attempt at trying to make it more streamlined, as well as have a more defined process on how we do customer communications. Going forward, you receive communications either for onboard, change, incident, or offboard. Onboard is where either we're making new releases or feature announcements. There you can check. We started doing this finance and operations newsletter. The idea of it being to highlight some of the 5 or 6 new features that have just been made available, so you can go and check it out. We understand the release notes are really long sometimes, so just to highlight things that we've made available. It's available through LCS. Do check out the August version. We'll be having the September version out soon. There are also the release notes and our documentation, docs.microsoft site, where about the features we do announce. Change is where we have planned maintenance notifications. This is for one version, as well as we do updates on your environments. You'll see these showing up as email updates in LCS in the upcoming updates area. In product notifications, there's a star next to it because that's something that we're still to add, as well as in Office 365 in the message center. The incident communications, these are specifically around live site and outage notifications. These are shown in the service health dashboard in Office 365. So anytime there is a SEV2 for your environments, there will be a detailed communication of that. So please do sign up. If you don't have access to it, request access to the Office 365 service health dashboard view, and you should be able to see those. There are email notifications that go out, and we're also trying to bring that view into LCS, so you don't have to go to yet another place to see these things. So sort of like having an LCS notification center where all of these different communications that we send you are reflected. Lastly, feature deprecation communications will be done through release notes that we spoke about earlier. Roadmap for Operate, having additional queries show up. We want to, in the December timeframe, we want to give customers and partners access to some of the telemetry data through Azure Monitor. The idea being you can configure a storage account where you can get this telemetry data. Primary benefit being you can set up your own alerts through this telemetry data on different business processes. And then eventually in H1, also having more of a guided troubleshooting experience and giving ISPs the ability to add telemetry for customizations. So just quickly hanging back to Meera to complete.
Yeah, I think we are really almost out of time, but really the takeaways are get ready for one version. There are tools out there. We'll have an FAQ. We'll have more documentation that's being put out. Diagnose and mitigate your production. I think Manali went through a number of available tools. And then the self-service actions that have been newly introduced. So please use them as you see fit. Plenty of resources. You will have the deck, so please take a look at that. And then there are certainly certain sessions that we recommend you looking at tomorrow and the day after. So please attend those. And of course, finally evaluate the session. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
We're out of time.